Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Tuesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy, and I'm glad to be here with you guys on this beautiful fall evening. We're 2 days away from Thanksgiving 2020, and don't forget, we're in the middle of a global pandemic, so our Thanksgiving will be very different this year than other Thanksgivings. But tonight, we're here to talk about love, happiness, and good energy with you and your family over the holiday. We're going to share some rules for your Thanksgiving gatherings if you guys do choose to have those Thanksgiving gatherings. And then we have a lot of wonderful guests who will be joining us this evening. Coming back to tonight's show is legendary actress and activist Anne-Marie Johnson. We just love and adore her. She's been here with us before. She's the co-producer of Bronzeville Books. And joining the conversation tonight is the founder of Bronzeville Books, Mr. Danny Gardner. And they'll be here talking about the unrepresented voices and stories that are often not heard, and that includes Black and brown people, people with disabilities, people that just their stories need to be told. And so I'm looking forward to talking to them. And then later on in the show, we're going to talk to a veteran journalist, an author, and a motivational speaker. She comes to us out of the Sunshine State of Florida. She is the author of a book that I just think is hilarious. And then we have to talk about this a little bit more as well too. The P Word is her book, and we'll talk about that. Miss Secily Wilson will be joining us this evening. So it's another great show to help get you ready for the holiday. Well, in the co-host chair is no stranger this evening. You all know who that face is. You know that smile. She has been up to her elbows in sweet potato pies with her business, All Potato Sweet. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show, the creator of Karen's Nuggets, the one and only Miss K. Renee Mason. Yay!
Hey, Tiffany! It's so good to see you. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Hi, darling. How are you?
I am blessed.
Good.
I'm so glad. Like I said, so glad to see you. It's good to be back.
Well, thank you, darling. I missed you a great deal. We stayed in touch via text message while I was gone.
And I sang to you for your birthday.
You did, honey. You did that. You did the Ella Fitzgerald for me, baby. You did the Beyonce. You did. I'm appreciative. I had somebody email me today, and they said, we emailed you on November 16th. And this was a very important email. And I wanted to be ghetto and say to the lady, honey, that was my birthday. I didn't see many. My phone died 3 times with all the text messages and phone calls. And so I had to apologize to them today and said, yes, I will accept the honor, but I'm sorry. I didn't see anything email wise on November 16th. So yes.
You could have said, well, it was a national holiday and I do apologize, but you could have said it. Let her know that it was a national holiday. You know what I
mean? Yeah, Kay Renee, you are my publicist, and you're the one who puts me out there like that. I would never put myself out there, but I do feel as if November 16th is a national holiday.
That's
I do.
Right.
I really do.
That's right.
All right. Well, you're looking well. So 2 days away from Thanksgiving 2020, and this is Rona Thanksgiving. How's the pie business been going, and what will you be doing differently this Thanksgiving?
Well, the pie business actually is going slow because of the fact I could not ship any pies outside of Chicago because you know who we had as a postmaster, DeJoy, and hopefully he'll be gone like someone else will be gone on January 20th.
Yes.
But I have a few customers. I have a very brand new customer who came by my house tonight. We had on my mask. Her name is Miss Tammy Chapik. Thank you, Tammy, so much. Came by, got her pie. I'm waiting for my aunt to come by to get hers. And I mentioned on my Facebook page, my great uncle who normally gets my pies. He asked me last year. He said he's going to stop eating sweets. My great uncle, Mr. Manuel Ford, who celebrates his 95th birthday today.
So wow, 95 years old. Really?
And yes, he is my father's uncle. And let me tell you, they were like frick and frack. And he looked at my dad as his son. He lives only 4 blocks away from me. And I was telling you before we went on air, I said, if you had him on this show, you just be on the floor laughing because he's a true storyteller. When I called him and serenaded him for his birthday this morning, he said, baby, I'm just pulling up in my car, still driving. Can you believe it?
At
95.
94, 95. Wow. Well,
95.
God bless him. God bless him.
I
I
tell you.
look, I'm 55 and don't want to drive anymore. So if he's 95 and still want to drive, more
95.
power
And
to him. More
it has
power.
he has a prosthetic leg to boot.
Oh my. Okay. All right. Well, that just goes to show you're never too old to
You're
do the
never too
doggone
old.
thing. All right.
Absolutely. And so what I'm doing Thanksgiving, actually, I'm living alone, so I will probably try to reach out to family, here in Chicago, outside of Chicago. I've started cooking, as you know, my pies. I made some potato salad. Tomorrow I'll make my turkey breast and
Oh,
have rotini with ground turkey, and then I'm gonna splurge and get me some macaroni and cheese, and then you know
oh yes.
that's
Well,
it. So
I'm gonna do a very simple meal. I'm doing seafood dressing, and
okay.
I'm doing seafood dressing. I'm gonna do a 7 cheese macaroni and cheese, and
Oh,
then I'm gonna do roasted Brussels sprouts. And so
nice.
yeah, so easy, simple, something that I can eat several days. I'm definitely gonna give
Right,
quite a bit of it away. I've had several people call me and say that they want to deliver me some type of plate, and I'm not
okay.
turning down any of those plates because, honey, I love takeout plates from people's
I know
houses.
that's
I do.
right.
I've always been that person. Like, if I come to your house for a celebration, I don't eat because I'm normally mingling and talking with people and
Right.
things like that. But I'm like, look, honey, pack me a plate up. And there's no greater joy than me to get up the next day and dig into them
I,
plates. I just, oh,
you
I
and
love
you and me both are, because one of my dear sisters, because even though I'm an only, I have a few sisters from another mister, and one of my sisters whose mom I call her me mom. We went to high school together. I always
it.
go by
Okay.
their house for
Yes.
Thanksgiving. Unfortunately, they had to cancel, and I
Yes.
said, "What is Mima gonna do?" And she was like, "Well, we've got to do it because we're not getting sick." So
Yes.
the moment
Yes.
I would come in her house, she was like, "Karen, I got your plate ready for you." So
Right. Yes.
I had
Okay.
to
Well,
do it on my own this year,
all
but
right.
it's
Well,
fine.
we on the same page. We do want everybody to stay safe. We're going to talk about some rules and
Absolutely.
regulations that everybody should follow. Kay Renee, our good friend Miss Patricia Arnold, she said she wants to order a pie for Christmas.
Do you
So
know?
look, right. Look,
Well,
I love it.
Miss Pat, you are also my sister. You know what to do. Just give me a jingle. I'll make it
Yeah.
happen.
Very good. We love her. Thank you. And we appreciate her being a fan of the show as well, too.
Absolutely.
So, Kay Renee, we got so much to talk about before we welcome
Yes.
all of these wonderful guests tonight. We have celebrity after celebrity on tonight's show. And then let me tell you the funniest thing. Both of our female celebrities tonight were both born on July 18th. They have the
How
same
about that?
birthday. Isn't that
Cancer
something?
women.
Isn't that?
Cancer
Yes. Isn't
women.
that? Yes. And I love cancer women. Yes. So that's just
My
so
my mom
funny.
was a cancer. My mom was a cancer woman, June 26th. So yes, cancer women are just beautiful.
Yes, they are. So I'm looking forward to our conversation. Well, on sad news, today the Illinois public health officials announced the latest COVID-19 numbers. As
Yeah.
of today, we have 9,469 new confirmed cases of COVID-19. And now they're saying confirmed and probable cases. I've been noticing that they're now putting in writing
I've
probable cases. And
Yes.
we unfortunately had 125 additional fatalities. This brings the
Wow.
total number of infections in the state of Illinois to 674,089 cases. And our statewide death toll is now at 11,677 since the pandemic has started. And I won't even do the national numbers. We'll wait for tomorrow night to do the national numbers. And, there's been a lot of issues and debates because airports have been full.
Yeah.
I am, guilty. I recently traveled, but I did it related to my career, this show, and a milestone. And I'll explain all of that tomorrow evening. But, the numbers are going up. A lot of hospitals I saw where in Morris, Illinois, their entire hospital is filled to the brim with COVID patients. And so, we do want to remind everyone to do all of the right things. I followed all the guidelines and rules on my vacation. I did. I followed them all. Each person who was with me followed the rules, everything. So what do you think about this, Kay Renee? Because here we are at Thanksgiving.
I had hoped, as you recall, when I first was your guest co-host and we talked about this, I was hoping we would not come to this point, but we have. And unfortunately, people don't believe fat means greasy. And I put on one of my Facebook posts at Kay Renee at Karen's Nuggets. I said, if you really don't get it, you need to listen to a certain Omega, one of the famous Omega men, Mr. Samuel L. Jackson, who I will say his video has 5 letters, acronym, STFAH. Because he breaks it down. He presented that little short story at Jimmy Kimmel back in April. It has hit over 7 million. It's still relevant to this day. So I don't know what is going to take. Unfortunately, we've had some misinformation with our national government, if you know what I mean. But now that that's going to be taken care of, there's going to be a consistent message about practicing social distancing, wearing your mask, washing your hands. It starts at the top, and we're seeing that now. You made a note of it earlier in your Facebook page saying, I want to be a hand wiper. When the president-elect talked about his national security and foreign team, it's like, hey, that'll probably be the best job ever,
Do you understand me? I got so excited when I saw that today. I was excited that, Biden has been given the clearance. I was excited that he's announcing cabinet members. But when I saw the dude that would wipe the podium down between speakers, and then he was kind enough to put that lady a step stool there, I said, well, how in the hell do you apply for that job? Because I would love to do that job, right? That job, look, I'd be sharp as hell every day, wiping that podium down between people. Right. Spraying it. I could do that. I could.
That's right.
So, we've got to now think outside the box for opportunities, jobs, things like that. Never in a million years did anybody would think that now somebody should be a podium wiper downer. Does that sound right? I know. That was ghetto fabulous. That was so ghetto fabulous. That was ghetto fabulous. Yes. Okay. I don't know. I don't know.
I know. So I'm very disappointed to hear that the numbers continuously increase. All of us want to be with our family on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Yeah.
But one thing that God gives us, He gives us common sense. And apparently some people are not using it. So, I posted, it's better to have a Zoom Thanksgiving than an ICU Christmas.
Yes.
You think about that.
Yes.
For people who want to say, bump everybody else, we're just going to have it and kick it. And I know we're going to talk about one event the Hispanic Jews had over 7,000 people having a wedding in New York. I feel bad for Governor Cuomo.
Look, that's oy vey like a mug. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's oy vey like a mug. Yeah.
So you have an event like that a couple weeks before the holiday, it's going to happen on Christmas.
Right.
So I just don't believe. I was talking to my former mentee a few hours earlier, and she let me know that she had COVID. She's still dealing, and she's a young sister. And I'm like, this virus is real. I don't know what's it going to take. So, I'm just hoping that people really will take this virus seriously, because now that the vaccines are about to be hopefully distributed before the end of the year, still I'm not going to be eligible to take a vaccine right now. And even if so, I want to wait, make sure it's on the right, on the up and up.
You know, last night we had the amazing doctors on. Both doctors were just
Yes,
Dr. Ansel Johnson was great. Dr. James Thompson, he just got so many rave reviews last night from being on this show. Both of them did. And I asked Dr. Johnson, I said,
I
listen,
know. I saw
I
that.
said, look, Doc, I know you sworn to some kind of rabbit punch secret when you become a doctor, but
Hmm.
would you really take the? And he said, look, as a person, human being, I don't think I would, but as a doctor, I have to. And so
Right,
that's my worry and concern. We don't, girl, you don't know if you're gonna grow a third horn in a year from now. We don't know if your eye gonna just bulge out your head. We don't know what the
right,
side effects are of this vaccination. And then for it to be have been created so quickly, you know?
right, right. So, I mean, we're going to keep imploring people. You do it through this platform. I do it through my platform. People wear the damn mask. And if you really wanted us to get real with you, as I said, go see Sam Jackson's video, STFAH.
Right.
That just will clear it up for you right
Yes.
then and there.
All right. Well, real quick, for those of you all, you know, on this show, we offer you the good, the bad, and everything in between. Kay Renee is the angel. I am the devil. You see, I got my little red on. So for those of you all that will be trying to celebrate with your family members, please keep it under the limit that has been set. No more
Yes,
than 10 people. Do not
yes,
have a bunch of people from outside that has not been in your bubble or circle of people. Make
yes,
sure if you are having a get together, people have been tested for COVID recently and they can prove that they are negative. And we're talking about recently, not talking about I was tested back in March. You need to be tested
right.
recently. If you do have to go to someone's house to break bread with them, please bring your own food, drinks,
Yes,
plates, cups, and utensils.
yes.
Everywhere I went on my trip, I had my own straws, whether they were paper straws or reusable metal straws. That's,
Hmm.
you know, wrapped up in plastic. I brought my own straws. Another thing, you need to wear your mask and make sure when you are eating and drinking that you store your mask somewhere where it can stay clean and germ free. I have seen older people. I ain't trying to get on my elderly folks, but honey, y'all will take that mask and wipe your mouth with it like a napkin,
Yes.
shake it out like it's a dish towel or something, and put
Hmm.
that mask back on. That's not what you're supposed to do. Put that
Right.
mask in your pocket, put it, you know, in your purse, somewhere like that. I even carry a Ziploc bag to put my
That
mask
makes sense.
in. That's what I do.
Absolutely.
I carry a,
Great idea.
and I even have a chain that can connect my mask if I'm out eating or drinking some coffee. Another thing, avoid going in and out of areas where food is being prepared and handled in the kitchen. I know a lot of y'all want to get under Big Mama and figure out what she put in her dressing, how she fry that chicken, whatever. No, keep your ass out the kitchen. Just too
Yes,
many people in the kitchen. You bring germs in on your clothing, all that kind of stuff. So just one person
absolutely.
in the kitchen. Another thing, remember single use options. Single use options. A lot of you all was like, I don't know why I would buy individual packs of ketchup, individual packs of mustard. Think about giving those to people. They even have cranberry sauce in little cups that you can give
Mm.
to people. And that way, you guys do not have to share the food containers, the
Right.
utensils, and the things like that, and make everything disposable. Everything disposable.
Mhm.
Yes. Did I do a good
Yeah,
job?
you did a phenomenal job. All right. I
See?
mean,
See?
that's the real deal. And it's different because I know like on my mom's side of the family, we normally get together at a Masonic Lodge. I know that's not happening this year,
Right.
and I'm glad it's not happening this year because we have a lot of older family members. And I know it's probably kind of hurts, but I'd rather see them now than see them 6 feet under later.
Yes, I agree with you 100%. So we
Yeah.
do want to remind everyone to please stay safe this
Yes.
Thanksgiving. This has been a year like no other. Who knew
Yes.
we would be in the situation that we're in? Kay Renee, do you have your mask so we can
You
remind
know
everybody
I
our
do.
policies and
You
procedures?
know I do. Hold on. Let
Ladies
me
and
get.
gentlemen. Okay, darling, take your time. Oh, gone, girl. Look what I got.
Uh-oh.
I
I
know.
need me some new masks. I
I
need me a
know.
new. Oh, there
Look.
we go.
I know. Mine. I had this in Miami. Right. Look, mine look like I
I
could
like
use it
that
for
one.
something else. I do too. This
I
was a
like that one.
this was a gift to me. So
I like that one. All
we
right.
wanna thank you,
I
darling.
need me some new masks.
Look, I feel like I need to have a whip with this mask. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
that's
Right.
see that
Right.
you
Right.
go and you go.
Right. I'm looking for a new boo thing. So, that's how it works. So listen, wear your mask. Make sure you're covering your nose and mouth. If
Yes,
possible, try to wear a face shield whenever you can. Also, make sure you wash your hands. Soap and water is the best thing that you can use. If you don't have soap and water, you can use hand sanitizer. Let's show them how we do it, baby. I like how you rub
that's
them
right.
hands together. All
That's
right,
right.
let's hand sanitizer. Yeah, listen to that. Listen to Kay Renee's hands. Make sure you clean under your nails, get it all
Yes,
clean. Remember to social distance. That's the most
that's
important thing
right.
that you can do. 6 feet. Y'all know how to get people up off of you. Just tell them to get off of you. And
That's
if you're
it.
not feeling well, keep your ass at home.
At
Bottom
home.
line, your job does not want you. Don't nobody want you coming over their house. If you are not feeling well, stay your ass at
Stay
home.
your ass at home. That's
Yeah.
right.
That's all you have to do. All right. Well, Kay Renee, let's continue on in our news
Yes.
before we run out of time. We want to offer our thoughts and prayers out to the family of the late mayor of New York, David
Yes.
Dinkins, New York's first Black mayor. He died at the age of 93. He was
Yes.
elected mayor of New York in 1989, and he
Yes.
was the first and only African American in the city of New York. And
As
so,
mayor.
yeah, as mayor, isn't that something? So
Well,
yeah,
what's interesting, Art, his lovely queen had transitioned a few weeks prior. One
yes,
of my, I'm a Dolphin girl, and one of our alumni, who was the first African American female, Katrina Adams, president of the United States Tennis Association, was like her second dad. So that's what how
oh
I got
wow,
the news that he
okay,
had made his transition. Yeah. So
okay, yeah. All right. Well, our
yeah,
thoughts and prayers go out to the family. Our deepest condolences.
absolutely.
All right. So yesterday, the General Service Administration
Woo,
informed President-elect Joe Biden that the Trump administration
woo-hoo.
are going to start, giving them what they need so that the power can be exchanged. And so today, President-elect Joe Biden named his cabinet position members.
Yes, he did.
And he did. And some people are not happy, thinking that it should be a little more chocolate in that cabinet administration. And so, what's your thought on all of this?
He's not done yet. This is his national security and foreign policy. Now, I know there's one person I think a lot of people would thought would have been named, appointed Secretary of State, and that's Susan Rice. But these individuals that he selected, they're definitely Washington veterans. They've known President-elect Biden for many years. They've worked under him when he was vice president. So the diversity is there. I mean, you think about it. There's one. I have it written down here. What's his name? Alejandro Maricos. He's
Yes,
an immigrant. He
yes.
is the first Latin individual that's going to be in the secretary position. So
Hmm.
he is definitely he's well designed for that role, and I know he's going to take it to heart, especially about those kids that were in cages. They can't even find their parents. So
Yes,
he's being very strategic in his cabinet. I mean, we do have our national advisor, ambassador to the United Nations, Miss Thomas Greenfield, who is
yes.
a sister. She's
Sister
a
girl from Louisiana, baby. She
okay.
talking about making gumbo. Right. I look.
Okay,
I was like, Lord, I need me a bowl of gumbo now.
but she's well qualified because she's a 35-year veteran. She was a former ambassador to Liberia under President Obama. So, and then let's not forget Janet Yellen, who is apt to be hopefully the next Secretary of the Treasury. This woman was Madam Chairperson of the Federal Reserve. So
That's right.
I think Biden is doing what he needs to do. He is slow and he is steady, but make no mistake, don't ever count him out,
That's
because even it was when a reporter asked, "Do you think you'll talk to President Trump?" and he says, "He asked me."
right.
He hadn't
Right.
asked him.
Right.
Trump is he's still in denial. He's still in Egypt. He in denial like a mug.
Yes,
Okay.
I know it's sad. It is sad. So we'll see. I just hope on the 20th, honey, we don't have to send Pookie and them down there to help get him out that White House. You know what I'm
You
saying?
know, I
Right. I just
think.
hope we ain't gotta send cousin Pookie and them down there
But,
to
but
help
but
him
see,
get
here's
out.
the thing. Now there's that time frame for when the outgoing president leaves and the incoming president comes in the White House. They're gonna need an extra couple days for Biden and the First Lady Dr. Jill Biden and in their family come in. Because I would not want to be in that White House anytime. That has to be purely
Yeah,
fumigated.
yeah,
That is a huge petri dish up in
yes.
there. So
I'd
just
be
feel
like,
that
honey, we over at the Howard Johnson. We'll be
okay.
at the Howard Johnson until y'all get
Wait,
this White House
well,
together.
they could probably stay with Barack and Michelle. They got a beautiful townhouse in home in DC. So if need be, they could be with Barack and Michelle. But the thing about it is, a lot of people have been asking this question: do you think 45 is going to attend the inauguration? I hope he doesn't. He's played his card. He
Yeah,
doesn't like feeling the fact that he's lost. Let
right.
him have an early start to go to Mar-a-Lago. Him and Melania.
Yeah.
You've done your duty. Don't now. I will say this. He had a press briefing this morning or whenever earlier today. It was the shortest briefing he has ever had since he's been elected president.
Yeah.
64 seconds. He made a statement and he walked out. They didn't want to
Okay.
ask no questions,
Okay.
nothing.
All right. Well,
So
we
I,
need more of them to happen like that. We need more, right? We need more of those moments to happen like that. All right. Well, Kay Renee, before we run out of time, what else you have in gossip and entertainment? I know you had a couple of things in the hopper.
well, I was just telling you about Dave Chappelle, and
Yeah.
I love him. And the thing about it, he asked Netflix to take his show off. And the reason why he did it was because Viacom and Comedy Central were streaming his show without his permission. Although he explained in his Instagram video called Unforgiven, I encourage all of you to see it. He says, look, don't be upset, but if you really want to help me, don't watch the Chappelle show because he really
Right.
doesn't own it. Similarly to Prince, when he had that battle with Warner Brothers, that's why he had slave written on his face
Right.
because they took his name. And there's something to be said. I mean, there's a lesson to all this, all of y'all. Intellectual property is real. Whatever you come up with, you better make damn sure that you own it and don't let no one else take it from you.
Yes,
That's
yes,
my
you're
statement.
absolutely right. You're absolutely
So,
right. You are. All right.
yeah.
Well, let me see. Jeopardy has named Chris Jennings the interim host of Jeopardy. As you guys know, Chris Jennings is the highest winning contestant ever on Jeopardy. He actually is even in some commercials now. You know, Alex Trebek's his final wish, or one of his final wishes, was that someone younger, funnier, wittier kind of took the spot after he would leave. I think Chris Jennings, once he gets his feel for it, he might become a little funnier or wittier because he's serious as a mug, smart as a
He is.
whip. Smart as a
He
whip,
is.
baby. But
He is.
most people like that don't have a sense of humor. And so you know, but I understand there is a petition out for LeVar Burton to possibly be the
Yes.
host, right?
Well, he did Reading Rainbow. I think, LeVar is an actor, but he's also very likable. I mean, he started Roots as that iconic role of Kunta Kinte, but he also has done so much. And Reading Rainbow is, as everyone knows, is a children's entertainment educational program. And so I think he would definitely fit. And I also remember in hearing Alex Trebek saying he would want for the producer to think of someone with diversity. So it was good that he thought about that as well.
Right.
So it'll be, as I said, Ken Jennings, I applaud his intelligence, but
Yeah.
no one will ever replace Alex. Let's just keep that real. So the person who comes in will have to own who they are and be authentic, and then see what happens.
Okay. All right. Well, with that being said, I do need to do a shameless plug. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the midst of the holiday season. It's officially Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all that good stuff. And our good friends over at the Salvation Army, they're having a really hard time this year with this pandemic, people not being out and about shopping. So they have an online red kettle campaign. And every year I would stand out on State Street in front of, it was Marshall Fields, then it turned into Macy's, ringing a kettle bell, ringing your bell, trying to encourage people to donate to the kettle. Well, this year I have an online kettle. I am trying to help rescue Christmas for the Salvation Army. For my birthday, my request was for people to donate to the Salvation Army. So here's what you can do. You can text Chat Daddy. Let me tell you how modern this stuff is now. You can text Chat Daddy and you'll be able to make a donation. Isn't that wonderful? It's at the bottom of the screen. All you have to do is text my name, ChatDaddy, to 51555, and you will help to rescue Christmas. Or you can go online to Sal Army Chicago /Chat Daddy and make a contribution to the Salvation Army. And I greatly would appreciate if people could do that. No matter what it is, every dollar will help. And the Salvation Army means a lot to me because I had an uncle who was in their halfway house, and my mom would take us there to visit him. And it was just a really nice place. They, treated us well as children. We went there and things like that. So if anybody wants to donate to the Red Kettle campaign, please feel free to do so. And I greatly would appreciate any contributions that can be made. All right. Let's see. We're trying to help people and do all that other stuff. All right, Kay Renee, what else we need to talk about, darling, before our amazing guests join us in just a little bit?
Well, there's one subject we're going to talk about, but it's kind of integrated with one of your guests. So I'll hold off on that particular.
Oh, okay. All right. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, just, the fact that it's good to be back. And, as I said, having my great uncle celebrate 95, it just gave me some inspiration to say, okay,
95.
95.
Can you imagine the things that he's seen and done and just all of that?
He is, I'm telling you, before we went on air, I shared a few tidbits, a few not nuggets, but some things that he has gone through in his own experience. But, overall, I love it. I love his authenticity. I love his candor, and I truly love his wit. And I see where him and my dad, he was the father and dad was the son, but I called them frickin' frack. Anytime, where his dad, Uncle Manuel would say something, my dad would just look at him and say, "Now that wasn't right." Unfortunately, since my father's transitioned, he's not come to this house. He only came to this house once because the pain is so much. He said it reminds him too much of my dad. So
no. Well, I hate to hear that, but God is really wrapping him in his bosom, and 95 years old is really something to brag and boast about. And I'm sure when we talk to our next guest, again, stories that need to be told. I'm sure in your 95 years of life, he has seen a lot. I mean, think about it, Kay Renee. Commercial airline flights, from when blacks couldn't do certain things to the Great Migration to just name it. In 95 years, he's seen a lot of things.
And he served in World War I. So he knows about what happened when he came back to America to deal with jobs and things of that nature. So he shared some stories with me, and I'm hoping that I'll get a chance to talk with him more to find out about his life.
Okay. All right. Well, we do want to remind everyone again, let's do our mass demo real quick. Don't forget, we are in the middle of a global pandemic. This is a health and reality news show. And we want to remind everybody to do everything you can to keep you and your family safe this Thanksgiving holiday weekend. So make sure you wear your mask, put your mask on, make sure you cover your nose and your mouth. Make sure you cover everything. If you feel as if you need to sneeze, make sure you sneeze in your elbow. Make sure you use tissue. Just don't sneeze out loud. Don't cough. Kay Renee, the funniest thing is I've been on flights, whether working as a flight attendant or as a passenger, and you always get that sneezer or cougher on the plane. Honey, nobody. Look, everybody was asleep. I think these people are putting oxygen on there or something to kind of make, because the air is very clean. We'll talk about that.
That's wonderful.
But yeah,
That's
no,
cool.
nobody made a noise on the plane. It was just a
That's
funny.
good.
Yeah, it was. So just interesting in many ways. All right. So, sanitize. Soap and
Yes.
water are the best things you can do to wash your hands. And yes, absolutely. If you don't have soap and water, we ask that you please use hand sanitizer. Just squeeze it on there. Make sure you clean those hands really, really well.
And the nails.
Yes, and the nails. Get all of that
The
clean.
nails.
Right. Social distance at least 6 feet is necessary.
Mhm.
You space between yourself and others. Don't invite people who are outside of your bubble into your space. I know you want to have some people over. It's the holiday. We want to party, play some dominoes, spades. Somebody got the Ronas. Somebody got the Ronas. Yep, somebody.
That's
And
right.
so, we want to keep our medical workers safe. We want to bring this COVID pandemic number down as much as we can. We want to get through this. We really do. And then if you're not feeling well, keep thy ass at home. At home.
Yes.
That's all. That's all. All right. Well, Kate Renee, we're going to continue on with our next segment this evening. Tonight, we're going to meet a gentleman, and he knows one of our celebrity friends. So she probably will pop in to hang out with us in just a little bit, but we can start talking with him first. It was so funny when I read that he was the founder of Bronzeville Books. I just knew this was something here in Chicago. We are
that as well.
I did too. We have our famed Bronzeville here. It is known for historically rich Black stories. So I'm sure when we talk to him tonight, he'll be able to kind of give us a glimpse of that and how he created this. And we'll do all of that. So we'll bring him on in and get this conversation started in just a second. Oh, and our buddy just popped in. So she's there. Yay, she's waving. Yes. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, our next segment this evening, we're welcoming back to the show somebody who we just love and adore. We feel as if she's family. Kay Renee, I feel like this is our Thanksgiving family Zoom call with her.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I think that's what we are so fortunate that we get a Thanksgiving Zoom call with her.
Absolutely.
We are very proud of her for all of her many accomplishments, film, television, you name it. Her work with, SAG, that's another major accomplishment.
Yes.
And not that she's already busy enough, but she is now the co-producer of Bronzeville Books. And joining the conversation is the gentleman who we were talking about just a few minutes ago, the founder of Bronzeville Books, Mr. Danny Gardner. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show, legendary actress and activist Anne Marie Johnson. Yay! Yay! We are back together again. And then
it's so nice to see you both.
Oh, how are you,
Miss Anne Marie?
I'm fine. We're here. I can officially say that my anxiety level has dropped now that Trump will be evicted.
Yes. Yes.
He has a stop quit order. He must evict. And we have a new tenant moving in.
Yes. But it needs to be fumigated before he can enter, him and Dr. Jill.
Fumigation, sage, prayer, shamans, pork rinds, whatever we need to do.
Yes. And look, we've already decided that if we need to, all of us need to call a Pookie in them that we know and send them to DC. We gonna pay for any Pookie in them that we know.
Wait, hold on.
Or Guido.
Right. We gonna pay for any Pookie in them that wants a free trip to DC to help pack up boxes, help them to get out of there. We need that house vacant and fumigated. We do.
I think Melania is already out.
She is. Did you see her doing the tree? I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. Her bags are packed. She's already getting a change of address.
Yes. She's singing Single Life, all of that. She's singing Single Life. Yeah, she's ready to go. Let's bring our other guest in because he is cracking up. Ladies and gentlemen, the founder of Bronzeville Books, Mr. Danny Gardner. How are you? Yay! You cracking up.
How am I supposed to follow that?
Right.
Yeah, you know, it's just we all just go get a U-Haul, strap it up. Whoever got the tow bar on the back, they gonna drive. Melania, we're gone.
This is the first time we're all going to volunteer, not only to help them move, but to drive them to the airport, to get the hell out.
You know what? I might
Absolutely.
order 100 pizzas to the White House.
That's right.
See? Just leave it here. Somebody will pack it up. I ain't getting involved.
Oh, man.
I'm telling you, I put a call or order out to every available Pookie. I said to him, look.
Guido. We got to call Guido too. All right. Guido.
Any of our cousins that we know can get some stuff done. And look, a $20 to $50 love offering will get it done. I've called all up. So that's all we need. Right. That's all we need to do.
I know all of us have a Tyrone in the family, so I have a cousin named Tyrone, so I know
my husband has his cousin Herschel, so
yes.
Herschel from Brooklyn can get over there.
See, and again, stories that need to be told. Do you see how the four of us have sat here and put together really a story about how to vacate the White House? And this is now a mini series right here on this show. That's what we do. See there? Right.
It must be artificial market controls on Black stories. Then. So many.
There you go.
Right.
I mean, we publish some Blacks. We just don't know any. Yeah, you don't know any. Well, now you know plenty. So it's all on the
It's all good.
It's all on the cover.
Well, look, it's an honor and a pleasure to have both of you here tonight. Who knew this interview would just start off so hilarious? Anne-Marie, the last time you were here with us, you talked about your connection with Bronzeville Books, and Kay Renee and I both were saying that Bronzeville here in Chicago is one of our most historic areas. It's all about the Black Renaissance. It's all about our people. Yes. I'm just curious to know, how did this all get started? And let's hear the story of Bronzeville Books.
Well, first of all, since Danny is the aficionado of Chicago life and Chicago history, I'm going to hand it over to Danny.
All right
now.
Well, I am rooted in the Washington Heights neighborhood, like 95th and Halsted,
Yes.
Okay.
I come up, in Oakdale Park, Carter G. Woodson Public Library.
Yes.
And I got bused from Wacker to McDade Classical back when Jesse Jackson first got the first magnet school set up, with help from the Fed on the South Side. And so my roots were in Black newspapers. My grandfather, John Lehman Gardner, ran distribution for the Chicago Daily Defender, the Negro Digest, and a few other things. So I come from that old publishing tradition of where, there's like 100 Black publishing houses and 87 Black-owned newspapers in Chicago somewhere between 1919 and 1937. So, now we're in 2020 and, you're a Black man writing mysteries about the South and West sides of Chicago back in the 50s, you can't find a publishing house for yourself because somehow we're doing less for ourselves in media than we were back in the 50s. And so, but I took the roots from Bronzeville. I used to call it the Black Belt, lowercase b, and you know what they were doing up migration. 8 families to an apartment, weekly rent increases. They're not paving anything. Mud that could drown a horse, they call it. But and the Sing Stack family from the Chicago Daily Defender and the Chicago Bee and the other great newspapers, many of which I feature in my novel series, they all got together and said, if we keep calling it the Black Belt, we keep calling it the ghetto, they'll keep treating it like the ghetto. We got money, we got status, we enter in the middle class. We're going to pave our own streets. We're going to give ourselves libraries. We're going to take care of our own newspapers. We're going to get our own media popping. And we're going to make the city maintain it with our tax dollars after we do it for ourselves. And nobody was doing that when they was Black at the time. Black America was still forming. We were still coming up from still doing a lot of things, but Chicago was founded by Black men. And so Chicago had agency being on the other side of the Underground Railroad, the first part of the migration. And so Black folks was having their money up in Chicago and representing the whole of the middle class when we had back-to-back wars with Europe, probably for 40 years unabated since Philip Randolph and them cats and the Pullman Porters got us up in the middle class. And we enjoyed a stable 40-year history. And we had media, and we had industry, and we had manufacturing. And it was all at 47th and Lake Park somewhere about. And
wow.
Where did that go now, right? What happened? Yeah. Well, what I feel is that with the advent of technology and with the new lean toward books as a form of media entertainment, since we have the times that we have an opportunity to kick some anti-erasure initiatives forward. You don't get to do that to us now because we got the cloud. I'll go find these old Black archival photos and bind them in a book and then stick them on your Kindle. And 100 years from now, you can't say we didn't live like this. Or talk about the Reconstruction Black congressman in a novel series and get it wedded in, and that'll be out in the cloud somewhere. And before you get a chance to not print that book in 50 years, it'll be on somebody's Kindle on Mars somewhere. So what we have now is the opportunity to write ourselves back into American history and then hang on to the printing and the distribution digitally of those ideas that this time came from us. So it's a bit less Black folks being the subject of social anthropology and more we being our own social scientists. And then we'll provide the basis for understanding what Blackness means to America. Everybody's story, mind you. Everyone's Blackness is our Blackness, you dig? But it just comes and goes with us. And so we should be printing the books. We should be taking care of the libraries. And now we're able. And, you know, it's a good time to be a Black guy in the book business. And it's a good time to be a light-skinned Black dude from the south side of Chicago. And
did he throw light skin in there? Did he put that light factor in there? See,
he did. That's all. It's all good. All right.
I thought it's quite the superpower lately. It puts people at ease. When you're talking about big publishing ideas, it helps them settle down. Y'all know if I was darker than the paper bag, I'd still be in line for trying to figure out what an ISBN was.
Keeping it real.
Keeping it real.
With great power comes great responsibility. I just got to brush my hair a whole lot, wear a do-rag at night. We'll get through it.
And
I love it. I do.
But where does Black ingenuity take hold in the 20th century in order for folks to go, you know what, they're making so much money, maybe we just don't bother. That's Chicago come 1947. We've already resolved our racial issues in this country. We've already entered the middle class in a big way, probably about the same era that your uncle was coming through. Or, you know, our own family members. Y'all know where we come from in Black Chicago. We already fixed this by 1958. So why we got a guy like Trump in there? And why are we suffering in unemployment? And why do we not have economic parity? And why did we go from 100 Black-owned newspapers to maybe like one or none? Well, you got to fix some evil against the people to erase all of that Black progress. That doesn't go away. 85 newspapers just don't disappear. You got to right? Well, we got a new day, and it's called technology. It's called STEM. It's called the foundations of Black excellence that they put down in the streets of like the major chocolate cities of America, where the Bronzeville movement hit. Chicago, New York, Baltimore, DC. There were activist teachers that were in these schools teaching these crazy Black kids how to publish books before they graduated because they knew we would need that. And so now industry is slow to a crawl. The supply chain is busted. I mean, Obama needs 3 million books in advance. Nobody else can get books in the whole country except me because I'm from Chicago.
You know how to do things. Yeah.
You know how to get it done.
Today, Bronzeville. Okay. it take a whole lot of hands to scrub that blackness bronze.
Yep.
And that's
right.
that swinging style we got from the Shy. And when everybody started loving me about these novels I'm writing, and everybody wants to throw deals at me, it felt really lonely finding a house filled with some folks that understood us. And, I didn't look at it as a bad thing. I looked at it as an opportunity to be of service. Mm-hmm. And so when I decided that, my understanding of publishing, but then my understanding of Black folks and Black American history, especially as it relates to the American Midwest, probably would be a boon for publishing, but I can't get down like that. I got to do it by myself, just like they did in Bronzeville. So I found the independent publishing house. It's a springboard. I want Penguin and Random House to steal my authors. I want somebody to snatch some of my staff away, because it means Blackness is being of service in places where we have gaps, fissures, and problems in the marketplace.
And it's not just the publishing marketplace. It's the Danny was talking about timing. It's not just in publishing; it's also in the audiobook world, which is a predominantly white world. And Danny was able to envision, how can we colorize the audio book world? Well, he has the content already. The books. Now it's bringing together the talented voices to bring those books alive, and the timing could not have been better. I mean, it's unfortunate that when people talk about the shutdown of America, because of the pandemic, what people don't realize is 99% of working actors are unemployed.
Yep.
Because production is not happening. On-camera work has obviously become virtually impossible, except for with a few exceptions, because of the unrealistic aspect of being tested every day. So here enters audiobooks, where you can do it in the safety of your own home if you have the appropriate recording equipment. Danny has created a way of safely recording these books with technology that can come to the actor's home safely. And these will be as professionally done as any other audiobooks, and it's targeted to everyone, but specifically it's targeted to the African-American audience and the audience of color that has been left out of the greater of the greater scheme of storytelling. And we are telling our stories, fictionalized, exciting, dramatic, murder mysteries, you name it, to produced by and performed by people of color. And the timing is just perfect.
Wow.
You're not kidding when you say timing, Miss Anne Marie, because I may need to talk to both of you all after this.
That's right. Because you, I believe, have a book that you'd like to talk to Danny about.
But that's the thing. We live in a nation that, to perhaps our opportunity, is starting to realize that 44 million Black Americans are utterly uber educated, completely mainstream, the undergirding of the American economy as it branches out into the global supply chain. And it's just the setup to Ace Boone Coon. The first book is A Negro in an Old Face. It's set on the north side and the west side of Chicago in 1952.
Wow.
And wow. It was great. I got nominated for 4 awards. I went all over the world of that book. Y'all don't even know it came out.
No.
Danny, I'm not gonna lie to you. It was just a few years ago when I found out that blacks lived in Evanston, that blacks lived in the northern suburbs. I didn't know that until a few years ago. That there's a rich history of. Oh, absolutely, yeah. There's a strong black population in Evanston, and they've been there for years. They have a huge black history in Evanston.
Quiet though, quiet. Probably don't want to tell you about Thanksgiving. Not me and you, because you know. Did y'all know I'm half and half? I'm half South Side, half West Side. So, you know,
you know you got to pick a side now. You know you got to pick a side.
We'll claim the South Side in you, Danny. We'll claim the South Side in you, Danny. Okay, speaking of the South Side right now, I'll claim you on the South Side. Okay.
Well, now look, K. Renee, we don't know what kind of shoes he got on, because if he got on Gators, he from the West Side. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know. He might be sharp, belly button up, but he might have some Gators on below. You know
what happens if he's barefoot?
I won't.
He be barefoot.
There may be matters in my closet still, though. There may be some matters in my closet still.
Because remember, we're in Southern California, so
that's right.
I'm kind of barefoot under here.
It's warm out here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm from the South Side, but it's like, you know, it's no pizza out here and it's all Merlot. So
it is.
A little bit.
Danny, I wanted to tell you that I actually am a former writer for the Chicago Defender, and I was there before the print publication started to wane. And I want to thank you and your family for starting that legacy. I was able to be the travel editor. I was able to do entertainment and nightlife stuff. And actually that career has inspired me to go back into now writing about travel during this pandemic.
Just do it. Just do it. Your voice is valued. It's wanted. I'm telling you. Look.
All of you are writers. I'm in the company of
we're all writers. Yes.
Yeah, but you also have to see it in a sense where if it weren't the right timing, and it wasn't a time conspicuously absent in what we pull from in order to fix this place now, right? Someone like Anne Marie wouldn't be interested. We wouldn't be breathing the same atmosphere. It's dog eat dog out here. It's a hustle. Anne Marie, we came together like, you know, it's just a simple gravitational pull because literature, fine art, Black consciousness.
This is how Hollywood is Hollywood. Let me tell you how Hollywood we are.
Yeah.
Danny and I were at the wrap party for How to Get Away with Murder. And that's how we met. He was seated at a table with Cecily Tyson.
Yeah.
Oh,
right. And that's how Danny and I met.
Oh, wow.
But listen, though. Listen, like, okay. Think about this for a second. I'm just sitting at a table with Cecily Tyson, and Glenn Turman and me was just talking some smack.
That's right.
Say, don't play that.
And here comes Anne Marie Johnson just, hey, is this seat taken?
I was by myself. I wanted to sit with people.
Look, man, I'm not going to bring all the Buddhas into it and everything, but hey, it just doesn't go down that way if you're IT.
Right, there you go, yes.
It just don't go down that way. And, I'm kind of, I don't let it show because, you from the Chi. Yeah, it's winter is coming and we don't mean Game of Thrones. It's just about to get cold for everybody, so take your tears outside, right? Like, that's just where I'm from. So I can't let it show when, I'm kind of taking it because, these white folks like, well, you should have went back to your white publisher. And I'm going through it. And then one night I'm sitting in this room and it's like, boom, 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 boom. Before you know it, Anne Marie has provided me with this lily pad in order to create and qualify work opportunities for Black actors. Like that. Out of these audiobooks we got. I didn't know what I was doing. Gone out to this Black woman staying. I sit with this other Black woman. It's this Black dude, but we ain't really worried about him. And then, got this other Black woman, and then I'm good for like the next year. And now I have innovated work opportunities in this new burgeoning side of the industry that no one would have been able to see, and it takes somebody like Anne Marie to be able to put like flashlight on her hard hat and lead you through them corridors in order for you to get there. And
because we all now, because Bronzeville now is a union signatory. So all the actors who will be participating will be getting union wages and contributions to their pension and health.
Yes.
And
excellent.
You know, we as African Americans have been taken advantage of for a long time because we really want to work, right? And we want to help each other grow and expand. And we forget that, well, we're middle class workers, and we have to respect our industry, which is ourselves. And I said, Danny, we're going to do this. And I guarantee you, we're going to do this union. So our wages and working conditions can be, and it took a few months, but we now are a signatory of the Screen Actors Guild.
Yay!
Oh, that's wonderful.
I saw a wonderful article that was written about this move that came out in October.
Yes.
I thought that was phenomenal. Anne Marie, you told us this. You told us she was going to make this happen. And look, Danny, we consider her a fairy godmother on this show, whether you believe in them or not. Anne Marie is our fairy godmother. She just makes things happen for us on this show.
Yes.
That's it.
I've got to come to Southern California, Anne Marie, to personally make your sweet potato pie, because as I told her, I can't be shipping no pies now, but you know you got a pie coming.
Well, you know, and it doesn't matter when it happens, just as long as we both get 2 injections in our arms and that vaccine.
Well, look, make sure you both tune in tomorrow night. I'm going to actually talk about my travel experience and what it was like. So if you
I don't know how
travel,
oh my God.
I'll explain every detail of it to last night. And actually, it was not that bad at all. But you've got to safeguard yourself, do the right things. I mean, we were our own housekeepers everywhere we stayed. So even the place was immaculate. We went in and cleaned again. And but it was the best vacation ever. So I'll tell you about it tomorrow.
I'll be listening and watching.
Yes, I will. I'll tell you about all of it. So now, Anne Marie, tell you the funniest thing. Our next guest, you and her are both born on the same birthday.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Secily Wilson. She's coming on, legendary journalist, author, and motivational speaker. You and her both have the same birthday.
July 18th.
Oh, well, you're going to have to wish her an early... because, you know, no one's birthday that took place in 2020, everyone had a birthday up until, you know, this coming December 31st. We should all get a do-over. So I think it's a do-over. 2020 did not exist for I mean, it's really truly with all kidding aside. I think, you know, it for our generation, it's just been a horrible year for millions of people. And the only positive aspect is that the man responsible for the horror and for the deaths and for the preventable horror is going to be gone in around 57 days. That's the only positive thing coming out of 2020, besides meeting you two. And besides, now, Danny and I met in 2019. So
okay.
There you go.
Well,
you know, think about this, Anne Marie. This is the year of the pivot. This is the year of reset. Even though we talk about do-overs, you think about it, because of the pandemic, he would probably, if the pandemic did not happen, he might have gotten reelected. So everything, you know, I think about hearing about your story and how you met Secily, Danny. You know, that's not a coincidence, because I'm a firm believer coincidence are God's way of being anonymous. So I look at 2020 as a year of reset and a year of pivot. So we're gonna, even though we're gonna close it out, there's so much that has happened, so many lives have been lost, but I guarantee you so much strength has been garnered because of what we've gone through.
Well, that's a wonderful, I will hold tight to that.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Well, Danny, do me a favor. Tell everybody how they can find you, follow you,
Yes.
any information like that. And I definitely want you to give everybody some words of encouragement to help them get through this holiday season. Whatever's on your heart, go right ahead, and then we'll let Anne-Marie close out.
Well, as the namesake neighborhood, bronzevillebooks.com. If you are interested in anything that's going on, I hear a little bird talking about a book giveaway soon. So go to the Bronzeville Books' Facebook page. Just Bronzeville, Facebook /Bronzeville Books. We don't do, Twitter's for starting fights. I'm too old. But we have that's fun. And so stay tuned. And those 3 things should get you in. And
Okay.
And words of encouragement. I'll search my heart and see if I have anything relevant. I'll simply say that stories are good. Better to be the star of your own than to try to figure out how you're written inside somebody else's.
Amen.
Wow.
Hey,
Wow.
That's a nugget.
Write your
That
own.
is a nugget.
Go out and write. When all else fails, just go out and write your own story. Just write it.
Amen to that.
Danny, that was some West Side Pimp Bishop Magic Wand kind of knowledge you just gave out, brother. That's still enough West Side. That was good knowledge.
I miss Bishop. I miss him. Yeah, when the nights I wasn't funny with Bernie, he would just tell me, "Oh, Danny, it's gonna be all right."
Oh, that was funny. West Side Pimp magic.
Yeah, that was some good magic you gave. That was right. That was some good show enough you gave. Right.
First Bank of Oak Park commercial fella. Joe stacks every Saturday.
Goodness.
Oh, he is Chicagoan. He is Chicagoan. I should have known. I should have known.
My goodness.
Yes. Well, Danny, we appreciate you so much, brother. Anytime you want to come back, this platform is here for you. Whatever you need, please let us know.
Absolutely.
And last but not least, legendary Miss Anne-Marie Johnson. Tell everybody what we need to know, and then your words of encouragement. You always leave us with a lot of powerful wordings.
Well, I just want us all, regardless of your faith, regardless of if you believe or not believe, we really just have to take a few moments and just realize, for those of us who are still breathing and who are still able to talk to our friends and our loved ones, how blessed we are. And let's not forget that. And like I said, it's just been so challenging. And unfortunately, a lot of people say we're in this together. We actually aren't, because if we were really in this together, we wouldn't be in the dire straits that we're in right now. So all you do is the best that you can do. And actually we need to do better. So my final words are, we have all got to do better. We have failed this. We have failed.
I love it. I really, really do. Well, we want to wish you both a happy and wonderful.
Uh-oh. Is Art still there? Did he leave us?
It's that West Side Pimp magic. What happened?
I think Art will come back on. No, I know what he wanted to say. I know we want to wish you and Danny and your families a safe and happy Thanksgiving. I've got to send those pies to you. There he is. He came back on.
I'm back, honey. Look, I had to check to see if I had paid the internet bill.
You paid the bill. Stop that.
Now, look, all that vacation I was on, I may have forgot to pay them people. You know what I'm saying?
Stop that.
Right. Look, doggone. Right, it was Pookie. Talking about, don't be talking about me like that to these people. You know I'm good to you. Right. So yes. All right. Well, Kay Renee, did you say good night to both of our guests, darling? We have our next guest waiting.
I was going to say that I've got to get those pies to you. So I'm baking Christmas. So we got to figure out how we're going to get them to you, Anne-Marie, okay?
Oh, we'll figure it out. Pookie can drive them over after he dropped Trump off in Florida.
Yeah.
That's right.
Anne Marie, we'll see you for Christmas. We love you. Good night to you both. See you later. Have a
Bye,
good one.
guys. Stay safe.
Oh, we love you. Bye. Thank you. You guys were hilarious
Bye.
tonight. That is hilarious. Girl, I done fell off the camera and everything. I'm like, what is going on here?
See,
All
now
right.
you know how I felt when on my birthday when this went out. I was mad as hell. I was like, oh, hell no.
Girl, I know. Look, they got to do better with this damn internet thing. Don't they know people are becoming superstars on these internets?
Okay.
This is crazy. Yes.
We
All
about
right.
to talk to Comcast.
Somebody, little baby Jesus, somebody to help us with this internet. All right. So our next guest this evening, we're excited to welcome her to the show tonight. It really is an honor and a pleasure to talk to someone who's a fellow journalist, motivational speaker, book author. She has just been through just so many different things, from having a stroke at a young age to actually being on Family Feud, to one of the most funniest clips ever, to now being a book author. And I don't know. I'm excited to talk to her. I had a chance to talk to her earlier this evening. She's down in sunny Florida. My new love now is Florida. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show legendary journalist, motivational speaker, and book author, the incredible Miss Secily Wilson. Yay! There she is. How are you?
Hello, everybody. Hey, Kay Renee. Hello, Chat.
How are you, Secily?
How are you, Secily? It's so good to see you. How you doing this evening? Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you both. I am super fantastic. I was so enjoying the interview with Danny and Anne Marie, and just knowing the love that we share with our birthdays. So early birthday to you, Anne Marie.
I tell people when I book this show, it's just so amazing the number of coincidences on this show.
What I just say?
What did Kay Renee just say?
Coincidences are God's way of being anonymous. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Secily.
I heard you, Kay Renee. I heard you, because that's exactly how I feel. What's even more of God's, because I was sitting here just saying, look at God, look what he just did. Like, listen, with me being on the show with Bronzeville and with Anne Marie and Danny, I'm like, okay, my voice needs to be added to the roster. My book needs to be added to the roster. Look at this. Put it all together, Chat Daddy. Put it all together.
Look, it's a done deal. I love you so much just from our brief meeting. And whatever I can do, and you're down there in Florida, my future second home. And so whatever it is, but now I just want to get to know you. Secily, you've had a journey that really, I told you, you are the female me, from health issues, discrimination, to just a lot of different things. So go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience, and let's get started on getting to know you, being a famed anchor woman, all of that.
Yeah, well, listen, I love what Danny said earlier. Don't worry about, be the star of your own story instead of trying to write yourself into someone else's story. So my story is live and in living color. So when I think about my journey, I didn't plan any of this, but to know that God puts us all on this earth for a purpose. And I'm still trying to figure that out for what my purpose really is. But knowing that as a journalist, I knew that's all I ever wanted to do from the moment I was in high school. So going to school with a laser focused plan of being a broadcast journalist, that never, ever wavered. And so in the early stages of 1980, 84, I didn't see a lot of Black people, Black women per se, on the air, because they were like, oh, Black people. So the only one that I really saw was Monica Kaufman out of Atlanta.
Yes.
Yes. You remember Monica Kaufman?
Yes, so absolutely.
I grew up watching Monica Kaufman, and she was the only one that I saw. I'm thinking, I want to be a part of that narrative. I want to be a part of that. And I went to school laser focused. I was going to be the first Black talk show host. That was my goal. Wow. So in the late 80s, I saw this commercial when I was in University of Georgia, and my dorm room at Creswell Hall. I hear this commercial. Watch the new Oprah Winfrey show. When I tell you, I had a meltdown because I'm thinking, this woman, she's Black and she took my job. That was supposed to be me. So I wrote a chapter in my book called Oprah Ruined My Life. That really became my muse, and I literally followed everything she did. So when she changed her hair, I changed my hair. I would wear scarves. I would wear necklaces. I had big hair. Then I had a little feathered hair. Anything Oprah did, I did. So
Yes.
it was a part of my life.
Wow. So, I'm a fan of Oprah as well, too. I just believe there's a magic about her. She, too, is one of my people that I idolize and just think, little Black girl from Kosciuszko, Mississippi, to finally becoming who she is to this very day. I don't care who you are and how you feel about her. That's a major accomplishment. It really is.
Accomplishment. And so much so that I loved her so much and modeled her. Because in her life story, she shared very publicly on the air about her childhood abuse. And unfortunately, that was very similar to my childhood abuse. And I remember the day that she told the story on her broadcast. She was talking to her abuser and she says, if you cannot speak to that abuser in his or her face and say the words that you want to say, write a letter. Write everything you want to, but don't expect a response. Just write it and know that they read it and released it. I did that when I had the opportunity through college to share my thoughts to my abuser and shared everything. And the day that he called, when I was home from college one year, I heard his voice immediately, and everything in me wanted to just lash out. But everything that he said that I was going to be or not going to be, I says, I'm in college. I'm going to school. I'm going to be a journalist. And everything you said I was going to be is a lie. So kick rock. So that way, she has motivated me in so many ways. And at one of these days, Oprah, if you're out there, I wrote about you in my book. So we need to get together.
Oh my goodness. Well, if we could, I do want to talk about your health issue, being someone who's an ADA ambassador and fellow. Americans with disabilities, it comes in all shapes, sizes, and forms. You just can never tell it's something wrong with someone. Oh. Here, you were in your 30s, you had a stroke, and you've had 2 strokes in your lifetime. And to look at you now, you look like the picture of health. Yes. And so I just, with this being the holiday season, and honey, we want some ham, chitterlings. We want all of that.
I don't do the chitlins. I don't do the chitlins.
but I just want to kind of talk about, how did you recover from all of that?
Right.
First of all, God's grace and mercy. That's how I recovered. But I remember it was 39. I was 39 years old. I was on the air as a morning anchor, and I literally lost my words. It was lights, camera, and no action. So I'm sitting on, getting ready for the 5 a.m. newscast, and they're cueing me. You're on. The words just would not come out. They were slurred and unrecognizable. And ironically, guys, just a few months earlier, it was my job to write a story on the early warning signs of a stroke. Yeah. So when I reported these early warning signs to all of Central Florida, I thought it was for the viewers, but it was for me. But I did not, because at that time I was dismissing all the warning signs, the slurred speech, the headaches, the recurring passing out in the bathroom, all of those things I just ignored and dismissed because I thought, I'm going through a divorce. I'm stressed. I'm getting up at 5 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning to be on. I'm on for everyone. I just dismissed them all as just being overworked and stressed. But God said, McFly, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. And when he took those words out of my mouth, I could not ignore it. I'm thinking, oh my gosh. Fortunately, it took my words for about 6 weeks, and I had to learn how to speak again. And ironically, 10 years later, on my 49th, around my 49th birthday, it happened again. And this time my mouth was like this.
Oh, wow.
And I'm thinking, Lord, this is the only thing I know how to do. Give me my voice back, and I promise you, I won't disappoint you. I'll use my words to be intentional with everything that I say and everything that I do.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave me my voice back, and I created a nonprofit to help other women to overcome their life challenges and their adversities. Because listen, if something has happened, it's happened to me.
Right. I was reading your backstory and I'm like, my God, I mean, this woman is my sister. She's my alter ego. Just, really just stress, health issues, trying to make things happen. I understand you've been through a foreclosure. You've had somebody put a gun in your face. Oh, honey, she had a state trooper put a gun. Can you share that story with us as well?
I absolutely can. I just moved from the Fox station in Macon, Georgia, moved to Tampa to the Fox station there, and new afternoon anchor, and like so excited that my career was getting off the ground, right? And I was getting married to my college sweetheart, and we were planning our wedding. I drove up to Atlanta, and I was on my way back from Atlanta after I picked out my gown, driving back home. Got stopped in Bushnell, Florida for allegedly speeding. Now, I didn't know that I'd gone through a construction zone and the speed limit dropped. But unbeknownst to me, I'm just driving along on a speed of 70. I think it was 75, maybe. Wasn't nothing excessive, but the speed limit dropped. I see the cop. He pulls me over, but I didn't think he was coming after me. So I'm thinking I'm getting ready to use my pretty privilege and try to get out of this ticket, right? I'm like, I don't know what you're doing, right? But as soon as he walked up to my window and I'm rolling down the window to talk to him, I get this: get out of the car, get out of the car. Show me your hands, show me your hands. I panicked because I'm like, what is going on? I had no idea what was happening at that moment. I reached behind my back seat to get my cell phone because I kept it in my reporter's bag. And it's like the Holy Spirit said instinctively, Cecily, turn around. Mm-hmm. And when I turned around, he holstered his gun, but he pulled out his pepper spray and threatened to pull me out if I did not get out of the car. And I did not get out. He literally had to pull me out because I was not getting out of that car. He pulled me out. It turned into a 3-day trial on national TV, court TV actually, turned into a 3-day trial. They found me not guilty, but here's the kicker. That officer lied on 3 different police reports and characterized me as a out of control, bombastic, angry, mad Black woman that I allegedly tried to kick, bite, and scratch a police officer. Now, at that time, I was a $105. I had a big mouth, but I know the difference between, going off on a cop and just a mouth. Right. But everything that he wrote in that report was a lie. And I was facing a year in jail for something I didn't do. So think about this, where we are right now in 2020, the Black Lives Matter movement. Yes. Mm-hmm. I relate to that so well because if I had not had the wherewithal and the resources, the financial resources to fight this, I would not be talking to you today. Literally. That's right. To you today because there's so many individuals, Black men and women, sitting in jail right now for things that they did not do. Now, there are those who have done things, and I get that, but there are also a lot that are sitting there with things that they did not do, and I could have been one of them. So that is my story. That's how I relate to this whole issue of police and insensitive injustices and insensitivity.
Wow. What happened with the state trooper?
What do you think happened, Kay Renee?
He's still working?
Of course he is.
Oh,
yes.
Lord.
Nothing happened. I think they transferred him to another place. I don't know, but nothing happened. In fact, they wanted me to apologize and plead, do a plea deal. And I'm like, absolutely not. I will take my chances with my God in heaven and me. I'm not doing that. And fortunately, they found me not guilty. And then I went on to file a civil suit, which I actually won. So Yeah.
Wow. Let me ask you this, Cecily, out of all that you've been through, the trials, the tribulations, what would you still say is what gives you that energy and that get up and go? I know it's God's grace and mercy, but we've all, when you've been through things that will depress you, things that will just kick you down. I understand. I'm sure Kay Renee does, but what gives you that zest to keep going on?
I was asked that question before, and sometimes I answer like I really don't know. But the one thing that I hold on to is that I have two beautiful daughters. I have a 30-year-old who is a new mother. My granddaughter.
You have a 30-year-old.
Baby.
Look, wow. Look, you look good.
That.
Look, hello, look, girl. Hello. Yes, we know.
But I have my daughter, my 30-year-old, and then my junior at Howard University, Nicole. And those three actually keep me going because I want to show them an example of perseverance, because life is never going to give you everything that you want. Sometimes it's going to throw you a really raw deal. And when it does, what are you going to do? Sit back and have a freaking pity party and I don't know what's going to happen? Or are you going to fight back and fight for your life? And that's why I keep going, even now things are not where I want them to be. But I know that God made a promise, the P word, the promise that he has for me, and that my latter will be greater than my past. Don't get me preaching up in here today.
No, look, we love it. We love it. Amen. Look, let me find my tambourine. Let me get my tambourine from under here. Well, look, Cecily, I want to talk to you about, you've always been a star, but you really made a huge impact on Family Feud.
Oh, God. I was like, oh my. She's a woman after my own heart. Goodness gracious.
So let's talk about your moment on Family Feud with Steve Harvey.
Yeah, well, let me tell you. So that moment had a precursor to it. So before that moment on national TV, there was so much going on in my life before that moment. So leading up to that, I had a mission, I had a plan, because I just recovered from the stroke. My marriage to my college sweetheart ended in divorce. Then I lost my job at the station. Then, because I did not have a job, I could not maintain our mortgage by myself. And so I lost my home to foreclosure. And so I'm struggling, trying to figure out, how am I going to hold this all together? I've got babies. I've got one going to college. Lord, I don't know what to do. And then I hear that they're holding auditions here at Universal Studios in Orlando for the Family Feud. And here from me, I'm thinking, I'm like Hamilton, this is my shot. This is my shot. Right. I'm going for it. If we can just get to Steve Harvey, maybe he would be that one person that could open up the door in the industry and help me save my home. Right. So when I got there, I had, I write about this in my book. So you got to read the book. So before I got there in the industry, we have our sizzle reel, our resume reel. Yes. And I'm thinking he has influence. So if I get to him, I need to show him my sizzle reel. I got to show him my reel, but they wouldn't allow me anything in the studio. I had to come in there hands free. Right. I'm thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do with these? How am I put these sizzle reels on mini disc. And since I couldn't bring in my purse and I didn't have pockets, what did I do with them? Pasties, baby.
I love it.
And a genius woman.
Listen, you've got to be prepared for the moment and seize it when it comes, right?
Man.
So when we voted off the Family Feud because we didn't have the right answer, I knew that I could ask him. I'm like, hey, Steve, would you be willing to look at my sizzle reel? I'm trying to get back into the business. I need your help. Would you please take a look? And he's like, well, yeah, you can just give it to my assistant over there. And I'm like, no, hold on. Here, bam. And here it is. So if you think his eyes were big and he fell to the floor to his knees when I said penis, that was hilarious because that wasn't planned. It wasn't contrived. I just said it. It seemed like a perfectly good answer to me.
It was.
It did to me too. It did. Look, it really did to me too. Right. Yes.
Chat Daddy, somebody lied. I don't know what 100 men they surveyed.
Yeah, exactly.
They lied.
Okay.
I said, this is a girl after my own heart. She ain't never lied. Right.
When I saw it and I said, Art knows the book that I wrote, I said, oh, we're going to get along just fine.
Yes. Well, now let's talk about this book you wrote. Let's talk about the P word, because the P word can mean a lot of different things.
Yeah.
It can speak life and death into people. And so let's talk about, what made you write the book and some of the things that are in the book.
Yeah. So the title of the book is She Said the P Word. She said the P word. And so, I've always, as a journalist, have so many stories in my head and so many stories that people want to hear. And I've been told many times, Cecily, you've got to write a book. You've got to write a book. I'm like, nobody wants to hear from me. Nobody wants to hear from me. But when life fell apart, completely fell apart, and I founded the nonprofit Wow Legacy, I said, you know what, Lord, you gave me my voice back. What am I going to write this book about? And I'm always being stopped. Someone says, hey, aren't you the lady that said the P word? Didn't you say the P word? And I'm thinking, that's the title. She said the P word, but it's not about penis. No, it's about pain. It's about passion. It's about the purpose and the perseverance and pushing my way through and making that pivot.
Yep.
That's what that P word is all about. It's a more profound meaning. Now, it's lightly inspired by my experience on Family Feud. And Steve Harvey gave me a platform to create my story, to share my story with the world. But it goes so much farther than just that P word on the Family Feud.
Yes. Well, I love it. I do. I just, when I saw it, I said, my gosh, she's multifaceted. And that's what I like about people. Some people you meet, they're stuffy, but just even after you said, and I was like, well, she didn't lie about what she said, but just and how you've just made a complete pivot has been incredible. Kay Renee, I'm sure you're full of questions for our guest because she's amazing.
I mean, the fact I was thinking one way, you just kind of just flip that script because you're truly just living your life with purpose, passion, and then to me the big key word is praise. Because one thing that I picked up the moment you came on, that you give God all the praise, and that's what we need to do, even in this pandemic. We must give Him praise. Period. So
I tell you, and I'm so glad that you say that, because literally, I cannot do anything at this point in my life because I feel like the widow woman with the pot of oil. You remember in the Bible where the widow only had, he says, what do you have left? What do you have? And she says, I don't have anything but this little pot of oil. That seemingly insignificant amount of stuff that you feel like you only have left. That's how I felt. I'm like, I have nothing. I've lost my home. I've lost my job again. And here I am. I write this book in the middle of the pandemic. And I'm telling the Lord, you gave me my voice back. All I have left now are these words. I give them to you and I expect you to multiply them. So I give you the praise and everything. So this moment with you today is an opportunity that I'm so grateful for. Renee and Chat Daddy, it is not a coincidence. It's God's way of saying, Cess, I see you. I got you. I'm going to set you up with these two individuals on this moment. So this was planned. P word planned.
Yes. Yeah. Well, look, Cecily, I fully understand being someone who had to pivot during this pandemic, being someone, that is used to talking to people every night. A dear childhood friend of mine said, listen, we're getting ready to create you a studio in your home, and you're getting ready to do exactly what you did on the radio every night in your home and broadcast it on social media. And whether 10 people watch or 1,000 people watch, God wants me to connect people. I am a connector. I'm a muse.
Yes,
I'm really a conduit to make sure that people who speak in great terms and in power and in positivity get their message out. And that's all I do this for every night. I do this out of love of mankind, not out of any financial gain. This is because I do want people to be informed.
Absolutely. I like to say that I'm a jokingly, because I don't want this title for real, but I jokingly say that I am a practicing pivot professional.
I love it. I love it. I love it, honey. I love it.
it.
Look, where's the t-shirt? Where's the t-shirt?
Okay, right. That's right.
Wait a minute. Let me show y'all this.
Keyword. I love that too.
Yeah, right. That's fabulous. That's fabulous. But look, that's saying you created. There's nothing wrong with that because you are absolutely right. You know,
Amen.
yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I believe that when you're pivoting in the middle of this pandemic, the ultimate P word right now, we have an opportunity to take this crisis and turn it into an opportunity. So what you've done, Chat Daddy, is to take that opportunity to create your own space, to pivot in the middle of the pandemic and create a platform for so many other people. So I've done the same thing with my life and I've been blessed. So I want you both to realize that with this book, I'm now on a we created something different that's never been done before, a virtual book tour. It's a road trip. So it's the P word empowerment road trip powered by Ford Motor Company. So Ford,
I know. Yes. I saw that. And look, and that started the day before my birthday. It started on November 15th.
Yes.
I'm the 16th.
Yeah. And so we are going to 4 different cities in Florida. We started in Orlando. December 6th, we're going to Tampa, then Jacksonville, and then Tallahassee. And again, this is all virtual. So I'm expecting Kay Renee and Chat Daddy to jump in my virtual Ford Escape or Expedition or Explorer and go on this ride with me, honey. Yes.
We gonna do that. We will.
It's an opportunity to bring the posse together. And before we go, because I really want to talk about the power of the posse, and I know both of you know about the power of the posse.
Oh, yes.
That is so important. Who is riding with you? Because when I write about this in my book, I write about the strength and the power of the posse. The posse members are your ride or die chicks, your tribe, those individuals who are there to blow life back into you when life is slowly draining from your body. When you have no more weight in your shoulders or your hands to lift anything, they're there to say, I got you. When your name does not open doors anymore and you have nothing else to offer them, they are right there with you saying, girl, we got you. Come on. I'm not letting you sit in this space of pity and wallow. You're getting up and you're going to do what we know that God gave you the strength to do. Keep it moving. And so when you ask me, how do I keep doing it every day? It's because I got freaking posse members that know their roles that will not allow me to stay in this space. So who, Karen, Chat Daddy, who's in your posse? Who's riding with you?
Wow. That's right. And I must agree because the people who were with me on my birthday trip were my posse. And those are people who said, listen, we know we're in the middle of a global pandemic. We've been doing everything right. We'll do what's necessary, but you must be celebrated. I've had a year like no other. I've lost 12 friends this year, not to COVID. 12 people I know died this year. Health issues, losing a position, all of that. And my posse said, you know what? Your 55th is going to be celebrated COVID style, but we're going to celebrate you. And that's what I appreciated. So you're right about that. You're right.
Got to figure out who your posse is, who is there. And you know what? Every posse member has a different role if they're doing it that way. Every posse member doesn't do the same thing. You got a posse member who I have one girlfriend back in the day when I was suspecting my husband at the time was doing things. I wanted to ride over to the chick's house at 2 a.m. in the morning. She's like, no. You're an on-air anchor. You probably not want to do that. Now, one of my other posse members was like,
let's go.
You gotta know which posse member.
That's right. That's
You know
right.
what? I do have a confession. I told somebody one night and I had to catch myself. I said, well, I know how to put a Snickers in the gas tank. And I said, did I just tell that? Because there's been many nights I've had to help my female friends put a Snickers in somebody's gas tank. So yeah, I apologize. I didn't know I was becoming famous. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But I'm good at putting Snickers in
You
gas.
gotta know which one you're gonna go with, though. Everybody doesn't do the same thing.
That's so true. So very true. My late father would always say, people, places, and things will give you inspiration or desperation. Choose wisely.
Yeah, choose wisely.
Choose wisely.
And they can't all ride in the front seat. All of the posse members not all ride in the front seat. Some of them
Amen to that.
Or some have to be in the other car.
That's right.
Yes. Well, Secily, everybody wants to know how they can get your amazing book.
Yes.
We also want to know how we can keep up with you on social media.
Yes.
And then the last assignment you have is leave us with some words of inspiration about just this time we're in, this holiday season, whatever words of encouragement you want to leave. Go right ahead.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, you can get the book on my website, the Secily Wilson, SecilyWilson.com, to purchase the book, or you can find it on Amazon. And I voiced my book. It's on Audible. So you will hear my voice sharing my story if you go to Audible and purchase She Said the P Word. You can find it there. You can also find me on all the social media platforms as Secily Wilson. That's with an S, ECILY, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So those are the areas where you can find me. And please keep up with me. And not to mention, please register for the free, and I said free, virtual P-Word Empowerment Road Trip, also at my website, thececilywilson.com, and hit the book tour and register for one or all three of the remaining cities right from your home. So that's how you can find me and follow me and join my posse, be a part of the P-Word posse by doing just that. And so as we leave, I want to leave you with these words, because as we are celebrating, I say that lightly, as we're celebrating the holidays this year differently, very differently, I want to encourage everybody just to kind of shift the perspective. Use that P word, shifting the perspective, because when we think about where we are, instead of thinking like, oh my gosh, I can't be with my family, I can't do this, there's an alternative. And you're probably not going to like the alternative. So shift the perspective and be grateful for the breath that you're living your life with right now, because there's someone who has an empty seat at their table right now because that person is no longer there. Shift the perspective. Unleash the power of the P and persevere through whatever the problem is, because if you're still here, that means you're one step closer to what God has for you. Keep pushing, keep pivoting, and keep praising God for whatever you have, because whatever you have is enough. It is enough.
Amen. Amen.
Woo, I don't know whether to cry or shout or look. Yeah, I don't. I really don't. This has been just a magical evening.
I have another sister. I mean, when you shared your story about strokes, not only we were talking about Sinbad, who had recently had his stroke, who's recovering. Yes.
That's right.
My late mother, I witnessed her going through a stroke. She had two, and it runs in my family. My father had Bell's palsy, so I know that runs. So I'm very cognizant of that.
Hey, Renee. Okay, listen. When I heard about Sinbad, or I see someone who I know visibly has residual after effects of a stroke, I audibly say, "Thank you, Lord," because it could have been me.
Right.
It could have been me. And even when I think about it now, I always get emotional because I know I'm blessed.
Yes.
I know that he's giving me my voice back to use it for a purpose. And so I am not going to disappoint him. So anything that I say, anything that I do is intentional, because I know he's counting on me to do what I said I was going to do, because I've counted on him to do what he said he was going to do. And he's doing that even when I don't see it right in front of me. So I have to understand that I am one of the blessed ones, not lucky. I'm one of the blessed ones who can sit here and talk to you today without any sign that I've been through the fire.
I love you. I do.
And I have to get another P. You're rising like the phoenix.
Yeah.
You have risen like the phoenix.
Look, the one thing not smelling of smoke is the most important thing I've ever learned. When you are a phoenix and when you rise from your own ashes, that not smelling of smoke is the most beautiful thing. It really is incredible. It really is. Well, Secily, I just want to wish you. Yes.
Daddy, one last thing. I'm going to turn the tables on both of you right now. I'm going to do what I know how to do.
All right.
Going to ask you a question, right? Okay. I'm going to interview you for just a quick moment. I want to know.
We got plenty of time. Go right ahead.
What is your P word? What P word has a profound effect on your life?
Purpose.
Tell me why.
I've always knew what my purpose was. I mean, my backstory is Art and I know each other since Sandbox. My background is in audit and compliance. I never knew that writing was really my purpose. And I'll thank my ex-husband publicly now to say that. Ironically, his first name starts with a P. Imagine that. But I never knew that writing my voice would matter. That's how Karen's Nuggets came to fruition. I've always supplied messages of motivation, but now I had to turn it. I had my own story with my mom. I mentioned she had the 2 strokes because she was in a car accident where she was ejected 200 feet from the car. We didn't know she was going to live or die. She lived in a nursing home 6 years before she transitioned on Christmas Day. So during that period, I will always send, and Art knows this, I will always send wonderful messages of motivation, but not knowing what I was going through and growing through being a caregiver to both my parents and my maternal uncle. And I said, there is a purpose for me, not just being an auditor of compliance. There's a purpose for me to help others, motivate them. Because I said, Lord, I want to help people see the magnificence within themselves because you brought us here.
Yes.
So purpose for me, that's I love passion. I'm a passionate woman, but I know purpose.
Purpose. So, Chat Daddy, there's significance to the letter P. P represents the number 7, right?
Yes,
Did you know that? It represents the number 7, and that represents completion, right? But it also represents spiritual knowledge, independence, family, and wisdom. So when you think of those letters, that letter of itself, it's powerful.
Yes.
What keyword gives you that power that helps you keep moving forward? What is that for you?
My word would be perseverance. I am one guy who has never, ever given up. I should be far more famous than what I am, but I believe that everything is in God's time. But perseverance is something that I radio, television, newspaper, you name it, really never went to school for this, just knew this is what I wanted to do, knew that I wanted to be a naturally born talent. What I do is God gave me this gift. This is nothing that I went and have, I graduated magna cum laude or any. No, this is a Black man who loves to talk to people, get to know them. I'm a world traveler. That was all on God. I didn't want to join the military. I became a flight attendant. I got paid to travel the world. So perseverance would have to be the word that I use, and I will not stop until I get my own talk show. I know you. Secily, I understood when you said I wanted to be the first Black baby, you and me both. You and me both. I get that. I wanted to be the first openly Black gay male talk show host that had a show that everybody loved. And really I've achieved it. People have mistreated me along the way, but I achieved it. I made a name for myself. The name Chat Daddy is synonymous. So
and unstoppable is synonymous with perseverance. And that's what you and I are. We are unstoppable. Kay Renee, your purpose is unstoppable. It doesn't matter who comes into your path. It's unstoppable. So when I say unleash the power of the P, Y'all,
Yeah.
let's do it. Let's go take a pee. Let's take a pee.
That's what I usually say about 5 minutes to 9 on this show. I usually say that. Right. I tell me, I said, do you know how hard it is to sit for 2 hours straight and not go to look, Cecily, you and I both know commercials from when I was in TV, commercials for brand. Honey, I sit here for 2 hours straight.
Right.
So, yeah.
But you really have to pee. You really have to pee.
Yes. So I do know the power of peace, Cecily. I do. Yes, I do. This has been incredible. It really, really.
Well,
oh my God.
Book, and please register for the road trip. We want you to join me and Ford Motor Company on our.
Here, I'm gonna put your website up here right now. Hold on, just keep talking. You and Kay Renee talk. Look, I'm a one-man operation.
So
look, I'm a one-man. Right.
For the moment. He's a one-man operation for the moment because you know,
girl, I'm the cameraman. I'm the graphics dude.
When he asked me to initially do I was his guest first, and then come to find out months later, I've been his longest guest co-host. So this has opened doors for me, and I'm just so grateful to him. And now I've got a sister. I have a sister now, Miss Cecily. You can't get rid of me now.
I don't want to get rid of you. Listen, you I don't want to come to Chicago when it's cold. So you just come on down here because it's 80 degrees in November. Okay.
Cecily, what did I tell you I was yesterday? I was so mad. I said, doggone it. I wish I'd have known. I'm coming back. Look, I know we're in the middle of COVID, but yeah, I'm coming back once things clear up. Yeah.
Wait to give you guys both a physical hug to my sister and my brother. Thank you so much for this amazing opportunity. And thank you to my girl, Akila, who helped put this together for me. So Akila, I love you. Thank you so much for being on my PR team. Yay.
Yes. Well, with that being said, Akila is our very special guest co-host tomorrow evening. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving Eve. And so tomorrow night, Akila and I will talk about my travel experience. As you guys all know, I'm a former travel writer. I've been all over the world to talk about travel experiences. And I really did want to travel during this pandemic. So I'm able to explain to those who might want to travel what has changed a great deal. People don't even realize they don't sell alcohol on airplanes anymore. So imagine how much revenue is just lost in people having beverages on planes. There are no more magazines on planes, no more pillows, blankets, any of that. And so we're going to talk about just the whole travel industry, how hotels now want you to call and let them know you're still coming so that they have the right amount of staff there just to handle you because they've had to let so many people go. So I'll talk about all of that tomorrow night with Akila. And then we're going to talk about how you and your family can handle your Zoom call. We're going to tell grandma what she needs to do to get on Zoom tomorrow night. We're going to tell y'all what you can't talk about on that Zoom. Don't bring up that dead drunk uncle that used to clown every year at the holiday gathering. Don't do that. Just mention his name, but don't talk about that story. So Akila is the guest co-host, and we'll do that tomorrow night. It's going to be a fun show. So make sure you guys tune in.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes. So no, we stayed someplace that the room was immaculate, and we went in and became housekeepers. My posse and I, we each took a room and we cleaned the place again. So that's what you have to do, right?
That's what you do. That's what you do, boo.
That's what you do, boo. That is.
That's right.
Well, Cecily, we love you so very much. May you and your family have a wonderful Thanksgiving. You have an open invitation to come back anytime. Would love to get you in the co-host seat one night. And we love you.
I love you guys more. Thank you so much for this honor, and God bless you both. Persevere with your purpose. Love you guys. Say the P word.
Yay! Say the P word, baby. Bye.
Yes. Bye.
Give it up for Secily Wilson, you guys. We just love and adore her. She said the P word. We love you, darling. Have a great night. Oh my God, that was so good, Kay Renee. I love her. I just do. We had a great show today. I need a nap, child. I do. We done talked to so many fabulous people. Girl, I need a drink and a nap.
Oh my goodness. I'm just, Art, I'm going to say it again. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guest co-host tonight. My heart is full. I'm so glad to not only, got reacquainted with Miss Anne Marie, But with Danny, I'm definitely gonna be reaching out to him. But
Oh,
then
I love Danny.
with,
Danny is a hoot too.
and then to end it with Cecily to tell her story. She is definitely impacting and empowering so many people, and then, of
Yeah.
course you do your thing all the time. But we're like brothers and sisters, so I
Yes,
know what
we
you
are.
do. So,
Yes. Well, thank
but
you,
I'm just
honey. I
really grateful.
appreciate you. Yes, I
Thank
do. I
you.
love you so much, Kay Renee. It just, I tell people it's amazing how God puts certain people in your life for a reason. And
Amen.
you know, we're doing this out of love. We're doing this to help
Right.
people. They're neither, you know, ain't nobody getting paid to do this, but this is what is called giving back to your fellow man. And I really, you know, hope people appreciate and love this show for that reason. I hope they do. And with that being said, do me a favor, you guys, please go over to YouTube and subscribe to the show. Maybe if I explain to you guys the importance of me getting more likes on YouTube, that means sponsors will come and help pay for this show.
That's right.
That means I'd be able to afford to continue to keep bringing this show. I would be able to upgrade studio equipment, Wi-Fi, all of that.
Yeah.
But I need sponsorship for this show. And so if you guys could go to YouTube, just hit the subscribe button. It's free, does not cost you anything. Same way with Facebook. If you subscribe at the Real Chat Daddy Show, if you tell 10 people in your database to just subscribe to my show, I really would appreciate that. And this show is free. We do it out of love. We do. I thank all my guest co-hosts, all of my PR people, guests, you know, everything. This is a wonderful platform. It really is. Absolutely. Yeah, just great people. Absolutely. All right, Kay Renee, what else you want these beautiful people to know, darling, before we have to tiptoe through the tulips?
Well, you know, I always give my nugget. I'm going to give this nugget as I gave this morning.
Give that nugget, Boo Bear.
Believe there are no limitations or barriers to your success because you will be empowered, you will achieve. And that is by former CEO and chairwoman, Miss Ursula Burns of Xerox, the first African-American woman, female CEO of a major Fortune 500 company. And, you know, today is Live Your Truth Tuesday for me, hashtag believe in you. And after what we've experienced, the belief is there. It just got re-energized.
If a reality star can become the president of the United States, I can be a talk show host. Right. I can be a talk show host with a major network television show.
Amen.
I just think it's possible.
It is.
I just do. I really, really do. All right. Well, Kay Renee, darling, I'll see you tomorrow so I can get that yummy sweet potato pie you have for me. Get that pie, baby. I need that pie. I do. All right. Well, don't forget to tune in tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen. It's Wildin' Out Wednesday. It's Thanksgiving Eve. Akila Easter of Akila's City will be here with us tomorrow night. She's a style expert, icon, all of that great stuff. And we're going to talk about, you know, the pros and cons, the do's and don'ts of traveling. Over 1 million people are currently traveling during this pandemic. We're not encouraging y'all to get up and go, but I do want to share some secrets and tips with you guys to remain safe and free, and what you should do if you have to do it. Because a lot of healthcare workers have been taking trips because they need to de-stress. I met a lot of people on my trip who they have particular illnesses that they just got over, and kind of, I met people who there was a purpose behind what they were doing, and much with myself as well too. But I am quarantining, and it's about testing, quarantine, and all of that. So my ass will be in the house until December. Now, what day is that? December. That's whatever day after this quarantine is over.
I love it.
I'll be in here until December, whatever day that is. I think that's like mid-December, right? Because that means I was in the house from November to mid-December.
There you go.
All right, Kay Renee, let's close out with our mass demonstration. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to remind each and every one of you to please wear your mask. It is important. Wear your mask. Yes, Lord. Yes. Cover your nose and mouth. Please do so. Cover your nose and mouth. If you happen to sneeze, please make sure you do it in a tissue or in the elbow area. Make sure you wash your hands. That's most important. If you don't have soap and water available, make sure you use sanitizer. Put that sanitizer on and get them hands nice and clean, and social distance at least 6 feet. Stay 6 feet back. Gone, girl. I like that noise. Do it again. We need to get you a fans only page and you just wiping your hands with sanitizer. Sounds good. Yes. And if you're not feeling well, what do we say on this show? Keep your ass in the house.
Home.
Keep your ass at home. As K. Renee say, mask it or casket. It's your
That's
choice.
right. That's right.
It's your choice. All right. Well, thank you to all of our amazing guests, actress and activist Anne-Marie Johnson, Mr. Danny Gardner, the founder of Bronzeville Books. Last but not least, our new girlfriend, Miss Secily Wilson. Her book, she said the P word, and it's been a great show. Thank you guys so very much. We'll see you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for our Thanksgiving Eve show. I love you guys, and we are out of here. Blow kisses, K. Renee, so we get out of here, Boo Bear.
Hi, guys.
Blow kisses, baby. Blow kisses. All right, wait. Now I'm trying to get my fingers to work so I can bring the credits up. Right. I'm a one-man operation, damn it. I love you guys. Have a great night. Bye. See you.